you doing? How's your weekend been? It's gone bloody cold, I know that, I tell you. Right, a few people asked me about this Securefast. Now, this is the old version. It's like a hammerite blue. They do a black one now. And this is the one where the actual key binds with the bolt. And we'll have a look at that. Okay, so you can see that curtain does not control that bolt at all. It's just to hinder you from getting your wire in there so you can't get at the bugger. It's to protect it. That's what it's about on this one. So what we're going to do is we shall open it up and we'll have a look, but then we're going to we will pick it with this new multi-tool using a non-curtain 7-gauge tip. So it's a 5-lever, that's 7-gauge lock. So we're going to use this. So that in theory, the way this is going to work, I'm going to drop that in there. And now we have hold of that bolt, and then we can pick it. So we're going to use this. We've sort of modded it up. I took a tiny little bit of a tip out of that tip so it can actually pass through into the keyway where the key would normally bind with that bolt, and then lift the levers to the correct height and throw the bolt into the lock. So we're going to have a go at picking that, but before we do all that, and this video is probably going to go on a bit, and some of you moan about my lengths of videos, but I need to try and explain stuff to you, you know, the way I learn, and then I need to pass it on to you. So that's why sometimes these turn into a bit more a longer video than normal. Now, I did have a little play with this lock, and I got it open. I thought, oh, I've got to share that with you lot. I've got to share that with you lot. So I went to stick it in the vice, put the camera on, and do you think the life of me could I get it again? No. And the problem is, I found out, and I'll go through that in a bit more detail, is my wire was just a tad too short. And I must have, when I got it the first time, one of the levers must have sort of bound together on the other one, and as I pushed the bolt forward, it dropped down into the gate, and the bugger opened. So I thought, well, I must be able to open it, because I opened it once. And we'll show you what happened. Okay, so you'll see that in a bit more detail. But before we do even more of that, supporters, thank you very much for supporters, new and old. Quite a few new people coming on, so thank you. Remember, guys, if you want to look at my website, you don't need to be a member to buy tools. You just need to ask. I've got loads of multi padlock pick sets, curtain pick lots, wires, loads of stuff. So, supporters, thank you very, very, very much for your support. As I get said again, and I say every week, and I mean it sincerely, there's not that many of you. But for the ones that do the support, I really appreciate that. And what I'm going to do for this week is these two different prizes. It's going to be this diamond warding file set. So it comes with little files and whatnot. Great for cutting different keys and modifying tools. So that's one of your prizes. And that's free. None of the supporters pay to win the prize draw. It's just something I can find and pick up to try and help out. And the other thing is, I mean, I've had one of these for absolutely years and years and years. I have managed to get some of them, and they are so handy. It's like a multi-tool. You put on your key ring, key chain, just push it on there and it clips onto it. You get a little Phillips screwdriver. You get a little knife for cutting packaging, and it is so dead handy. A bottle opener. The amount of times I've used this to cut packaging open or tighten up something, and I've been out and I haven't had a screwdriver, and I thought, oh, it just clips on there onto your keyring, it's sorted. So it's a useful little thing. So that's going to be part of this week's prize. So we're going to have a look inside this lock. Let's take it apart. Right, we've only got 2 screws in. It's 7-gauge, 5-lever. It's got a blue hammerite finish. Securefast. So we'll have a look. So we'll open her up, and that's what we're dealing with. Okay, we'll strip it down and we'll have a look in a bit more detail. So the first lever we got on this one is got whacking great big numbers on, so even I can see those. Is a number 2, and we've got a false notch on the top. I haven't got a key. Second one is a real low one. It's a number 1. And that rust's probably not helping me out either, is it? Because that's probably causing some of my problems. And there's a false notch on the top as well. But remember, guys, locksmiths out there have to open quite a few old locks, so they need to know these different stuff. Then we're back on. So we started off with a 1, we've got a 2, and then we're back on a 2 again. False notch on the top, and you can see where the cut into the levers is for key control. Now, what we got on the fourth lever? Fourth lever, we've gone a bit crazy now, haven't we? Besides that bugger there, we've got 2 false notches, 1 on the top, 1 on the bottom, and we have got no numbers on this. Oh no, I can see anyway. It's one of the evil ones at the back. As you get, look at that. So that's a 4th. I think this is going to be very similar to that one. I think it must have been a 4, but there's no 4 number on it because this one says 4 as well. So we've got a 4 on it, and we'll compare the 2. So again, we've got a 4 on this one. Key control, false notch on the top, evil deep one on the bottom. Let me put this down for a minute, and we'll compare the 2 and see if they're the same or similar in cuts. And they are. So the back 2 are both number 4s. One's got stamped on and one's just obviously not made the stamping machine or whatever. It just happened. So these both are number 4s. So we've got radical. So we've got 2 2s, a 1 and 2 4s. Opposite pitting. Now we look at the bolt. As you can see, that bolt will just spin round. There's nothing for that bolt to grab onto, that curtain, sorry, to grab onto that bolt, into that gap. Your key's going to get into that gap, okay? So while it's in the lock, let's see if we can mimic that the best we can. So that being your curtain, that's going to, it's the back of that point there. We'll grab hold of that bolt and throw it, okay? So it's going to act just like the key, because there's nothing on that curtain for you to do that. It's just because you can see there's nothing there at all. It's going to engage with the back of that bolt. It's just going to spin. It's just there to shield the actual bitting of those levers. So there you go. We'll drop him in and we should be able to push him back and it'll drop through that gap. There you go. It's going to open that. Put the pressure on that bolt like that. So I hope that kind of sort of makes sense. And what we're going to do, I'll put it all back together again. I'll try and find a clear case so you guys can see what I'm up to, and then we'll have a go at picking it, and I'll try and show you try and replicate what happened the first time I picked it, and we'll try and pick it with a different wire so we can get it open. So that's what's going to happen next, so I shall see you over there. Right, Securefast. First of all, apologies for the unbotched case, so you can see what I'm doing. I didn't have one for this size, but I had another one with a crack in it, and I thought, well, I'm not going to waste that plastic, and I'm just going to repurpose it and try my best. I know it looks a bit shy, but this is the only way I can get you to have a look inside the lock, as I'm trying to talk about some of the features and some of the problems you can have with it. So we know it's a Securefast. You do get a few different sorts of Securefast. I don't think this is just one. There's a black version, a newer one, and this is one of the old ones, the blue version. This one is actually, as you can see, the curtain doesn't bind that pack. It'll be the end bitting of the key will go in there. It will engage in the back of that bolt like you would on a non-curtain lock, and then put pressure on that bolt. So if we use that multi-tool, so this is a 7-gauge tip for non-curtain, but because it's a 7-gauge lock and it acts like a non-curtain, but it's got a curtain on it, see where I can drop, there it is, drop it into the back, that will act like it was the key, and then you go, we've got hold of that bolt. So now, because we've got pressure against that bolt, the pressure can put pressure against that lever pack and hold the levers up as we pick them. Now we have got false notches on the top and the bottom of this particular lock, and it was a little bit of a bugger really. It was one of these ones that I picked it without having a look inside it, and then for the life of me I thought, oh, I'll put this on camera. I couldn't get it again. I thought, what's going on? What's going on? So some of the things that can happen, and this is what it's all about. It's pointless me sharing your stuff unless you can learn from it. You see, if I just pick this lock and says, well, you know, I've owned this Securefast and la la la, you're not going to learn nothing. And I learn along the way as well, so it's all good. So first of all, I tried this wire. I thought, well, yeah, you know, it's quite shallow enough. That'll do it. And I did get it once. We'll have a little look. So we'll get through, and then I can't remember, it was the first one. I'm trying not to knock against the phone here. The first one, it's a bugger to bind. The first one, you can see, look, I was just off. So I must have just nipped it up, or it got caught on another one and dropped on the bounce, and I got through it. But because the lever, the actual pick, is just, I don't know if I can get any closer to that. As you can see, it's just a fraction. So that lever must have got stuck against another one the first time I picked it. And then as I've moved forward, it's dropped down into the gate and it's opened. So I thought, you know, for the life of me, I picked it once with this wire, I can pick it again. So we'll have a little look. So we can get for the back. That's the first one. Fifth, sorry. And then we'll go for the fourth. They're holding up. And we'll go for, as soon as I touch the second, the third one's dropping. That's what I talk about binding order. Now I've lost the third. So we're going to try and get on the third. Third's back up. We'll touch the first. As you can see, second down. We're getting straight into a false notch there. And sometimes you can get out of them. Yeah, out of them. So we've got the fifth. We've got the fourth. See, the second, we're just scooting off the top. The wire is just a tad short. We'll keep going for now, and then we'll change the wire in a minute. That's the third. We've got the third, so they've got the fifth, fourth, third. The only two that's left now, because this pick wire has reached all the heights, because they're all different heights. This obviously at the front. It's in the front is, see what's happening. As I'm touching the first one there, it's actually taking the second one up with it. And there's the second now. And the second, I was just, one of these must have got stuck together because I was just shy. So I did get it once with this pick wire. So I must have just got it on the bounce. And I messed about with it for hours and hours and hours and hours. I was just shy. I was just shy off it. And I'm going, ah! So I had to make a little cover to understand what's going on. So once I discovered my wire weren't long enough, we'll try a different one. I'll back off a little bit. So now we've got a bit more. I've gone really shallow on this one. We've got a bit more length now. So we'll have a little go with this one now. And we'll do the same in and out so you can see what's going on. So we know that, let's go back in so you can have a bit of a look. So we've got you can get hold of the fifth. There he is, bouncing there. Fourth. Now as soon as we start touching the second, there's third. Now as soon as I want to touch the first, to the second go with it and the third one drop, then that's your binding. That's how they affect each other. So they become a little bit of a pig. I've got to ease off the pressure because I'm slowly now, I'm touching the third, but I'm actually moving up fourth as well. The wire's not too wide. It's actually because of the lever packs binding against each other. See that? Pushed it right up. And it's a case of just going through them, and it's difficult to do, to jack them up. Now I think I was in a false notch then, so we're going to have to drop them all out. They're a bit sticky. So we start again. They're all back at the line. Off we go again. So fifth. So look, as soon as I got onto fourth, third was trying to move a little bit. I got fifth and I've got 4th. Okay, ease off that pressure a bit. I've got 5th, 4th and 3rd. I've dropped 3rd now. 4th, sorry. I've got 2nd. As soon as I touch the C lock, as soon as I'm touching 1st, 2nd wants to drop out. So they actually sort of compress against each other. They're buggers, they are. And we're going to go through. Little nudge on 5th. The 5th. 4th, 5th. You need to adjust your tension as you go through them. Sometimes you need to put a bit more on, sometimes you need to take a bit off to hold them where you need to go. And if they're just not quite sitting right, they will affect each other. So it's trying to find that binding order. So we're going backwards and forwards. See? Touch. As soon as I'm on the 3rd now, 4th wants to go with it. And I'm not touching 4th, I've jumped onto 2nd now. And I'm having to nudge them up. Watch me tension. See, I'm touching 3rd, but 2nd wants to go with it. Slowly, slowly. Catch your monkey. And it was one of those locks that's like, God, blimey. And normally they're not this difficult, but it just all depends on the bitting. Having the plastic cover don't help, of course, but if I didn't have that, you can't see. So I'm slowly getting there. See, as soon as I touch 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, dropped 5th, then a little bit back onto 4th, a bit more pressure now on the tension. 2nd, I've lost 3rd now. Okay, off the tension a little bit. Take 4th and 5th a little bit higher. So I've got 4th, 5th, 3rd. Now, as soon as it's the 1st and 2nd is going to start controlling stuff. 2nd. I've got 2nd's a little bit too high, but we might drop them down. We're getting close now. I've got, watch me tension. See, 2nd and 1st are playing the game. So then you need to go back to 5th. Give that a little nudge. 4th. Give that a little nudge. 3rd. See, look, moved a tiny little bit amount on the 3rd then. See if we get any more luck. 2nd. Touch 1st, I've lost 2nd. I've gone a little bit forward. Little nudge now on 2nd. And we're through. Now, I know it was a bit of a path around what we got through, and plastic cases don't always give you a true feeling of picking a lever lock. But when you get that sort of weird bidding where they start to affect each other from touching 3rd to 4th, 2nd, you can see 1st and 2nd were sort of playing against each other. So was 3rd and 4th. And it's going backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. These locks are not always a quick pick. You do come across some that you can get through straight away, and you'll get others that just seems to be an absolute nightmare. So try and bear that in mind. I hope you've picked up a few tips, and then so you can use it in this particular lock, in this sort of situation. So it's the old version of a Securefast 7-gauge 5 lever. Now guys, stay safe, stay well, and above all, stay legal, and I'll see you later on in the week. Thanks for watching. Remember, if you like the video, just stick a nice thumbs up, and they are pretty clean today. Stick a nice thumbs up, slap the old like button, and leave a nice polite comment. Hey, we've all got to be nice to each other. So, plastic cases don't always give you a true reflection, but today I didn't have a metal cutaway, and I sort of had to codge something to have a look at those actual pick wire heights. So it was a bloody pick wire, and it was a pain that I got it first time with that one, and then second time, as you could see, it wasn't just quite high enough. But the only way to find out is to have a look. It just all depends on your bitting and how high those lifts are of what's in that particular lock. So guys, stay safe, and I'll see you all very soon. Ta-da!